Nova Prime recruits Nebula to join the Nova Corps, following Ronan the Accuser's successful coup against Thanos. 5 years later, after Xandar is sealed off from the universe to protect itself from Ronan's forces, Nebula discovers Yondu's body and receives orders from Nova Prime to investigate. She learns that Yondu located the codes to open the planetary shield and enlists Kree soldier Yon-Rogg to infiltrate the Nova Corps mainframe to destroy them. Yon-Rogg betrays her, revealing that he and Nova Prime plan to give up Xandar to Ronan. Nebula survives an execution attempt by Nova Prime's men, subsequently enlisting casino owner Howard the Duck and his subordinates, Groot, Meek, and Korg, to stop Nova Prime. During their fight, Nebula reveals she realized Nova Prime's defection when she assigned the mission to her and altered the code so that the shield would close again as Ronan's ship, the Dark Aster, enters Xandar, destroying it and killing Ronan. Nova Prime tries to escape but falls to her death. The shield reopens as Nebula prepares to continue defending Xandar. In 1988, the Ravagers take Peter Quill to Ego, who urges him to help his expansion across the universe. 6 months later, after ravaging several worlds, Peter returns to Earth. In response, Peggy Carter and Howard Stark recruit Bill Foster, King T'Chaka of Wakanda, Bucky Barnes, Dr. Wendy Lawson, and a reluctant Hank Pym, who brings his daughter Hope Van Dyne along. After a scuffle on Coney Island, the team detains Peter with help from Thor. As the team discusses their next move, Hope frees Peter, who travels to Missouri. As T'Chaka, Bill, and Thor aid Peggy's forces in holding back Ego, Hank and Wendy encounter Peter visiting his mother's grave. A sympathetic Hank convinces him to stand against his father. Bucky, under the influence of his manipulators, prepares to assassinate Peter until Howard reminds him of his best friend, Steve Rogers. As Ego overwhelms the heroes and attempts to obtain his seed, Hank and Peter arrive in time to stop him, with the latter using the seed to destroy Ego's avatar. The team, minus Bucky, celebrates their victory before setting out to confront Ego himself. On Christmas Eve, Happy Hogan is assigned to oversee security at Avengers Tower for an annual holiday party until Justin Hammer and his henchmen break out of prison and assault the tower for Tony Stark's technology and a sample of Bruce Banner's blood. While attempting to save the blood sample, Happy is accidentally injected with it, causing him to gradually transform into a Hulk-like monster while retaining his intelligence. With the Avengers busy and Stark's AI, Jarvis, inactive, Happy contacts Darcy Lewis, who tries to find a new AI to reboot the tower's systems. However, she is taken hostage by Hammer's group, who hijack the Iron Legion and Stark's Hulkbuster armor. Once his transformation is complete, Happy destroys the Legion and defeats Hammer. While Hammer is taken back into custody, the Avengers return, praise Happy for his efforts, and resume their Christmas party. In 2012, Tony Stark saves New York from the Chitauri by redirecting a nuclear missile towards their mother ship. However, the wormhole he used closes before he can return to Earth, causing him to crash land on Sakaar, where he is forced to stay by its ruler, the Grand Master. Stark interferes in a death race to save one of the racers, Korg, and encounters Gamora, who was sent by Thanos to kill Stark for stopping the Chitauri, before the Grand Master's chief enforcer, Topaz, imprisoned the pair. Upon learning Gamora's purpose and vowing to stop the Grand Master, Stark escapes, recruits Korg and Valkyrie, builds a new Iron Man suit, and challenges the Grand Master to a race for the title of Sakaar's ruler. Though the Grand Master tries to cheat, Stark ultimately wins while Valkyrie defeats Topaz and incapacitates the Grand Master. As Valkyrie is crowned King of Sakaar, Stark convinces Gamora to forge her own path before joining her in leaving to confront and kill Thanos. Captain Peggy Carter and Natasha Romanoff find Steve Rogers inside the Hydra Stomper armor, but he attacks them. A briefing with Nick Fury leads Natasha to deduce that Rogers, who went missing in 1953, was captured and brainwashed by the Red Room. Peggy and Natasha help Brock Rumlow protect Bucky Barnes from Rogers, before incapacitating him and traveling to a secret hideout in Scotland, where they learn the suit is keeping Rogers alive. though each activation reduces his chances of survival. Rogers offers to help Peggy dismantle the Red Room in the hopes of finding a cure before escorting her and Natasha to a former KGB site. However, the group is ambushed by drones and Black Widow assassins, controlled by the Red Room's leader, Melina Vostokov, who reactivates Rogers' brainwashing. While Natasha holds off Melina's forces, Peggy reaches out to Rogers, who sacrifices himself to destroy the Red Room. Amidst this, Natasha uses her grappling hook to tie Melina to Rogers' suit, killing her in the resulting explosion. As Peggy tries to find Rogers, a portal suddenly takes her to a Renaissance-themed universe, where she encounters its variants of Nick Fury and Wanda Maximoff. After Surtur destroys Asgard during Ragnarok, the Tesseract crash lands in a lake in pre-colonial America, giving it magical properties. After numerous tribespeople disappear while interacting with it, it becomes known as the Forbidden Lake. In the late 15th century, young Mohawk siblings Cohorty and Wata are hunted by Spanish conquistadors, who ransacked their village in search of the Fountain of Youth. While hiding inside a cave, Wata is captured and Cohorty is shot, causing her to fall into the Forbidden Lake, which teleports her to another dimension, where she is nursed back to health by fellow Mohawk people. A villager named Atarax explains that the missing tribespeople were teleported to the Sky World, where they gained powers and immortality, but were unable to return home. As Cohorty familiarizes herself with her newfound powers, the conquistadors enter the lake, believing it to be the fountain, and invade the Sky World. Cohorty stops them and forces the portal from the sky to the ground, and returns home. She and the villagers defeat the conquistadors, rescue her people, and later force Queen Isabella to make peace. Soon after, Doctor Strange Supreme emerges from a separate portal and approaches Cohorty. Growing weary of Hela's bloodlust in the Nine Realms, Odin banishes her to Earth, and strips her powers by destroying Mjolnir and placing an enchantment on her crown. Hela lands in medieval China and is confronted by the armies of Wenwu. She attempts to retrieve the crown but fails. Wenwu keeps Hela alive and tries to recruit her to his army, but she escapes after failing to steal his 10 rings. She is guided by Morris to the realm of Ta Lo, where she convinces their leader, Jai Yi, to let her join their cause. Jai Yi teaches Hela martial arts after she recognizes her true desire for freedom from control. After Heimdall reports his failure to locate Hela, Odin visits Earth to battle Wenwu in retaliation. Hela joins Wenwu in fighting against Odin, ultimately winning and regaining her worthiness to wield her crown. Odin recognizes Hela's growth and submits Asgard's throne to her. Hela unites the armies of Asgard and Wenwu's 10 Rings organization and embarks on a journey to ensure freedom across the 9 realms and beyond, coming to the rescue of Gamora's people as Thanos attacks them. After arriving in a Renaissance-themed universe, Captain Carter agrees to help Wanda Merlin and Sir Nicholas Fury stop an impending incursion. She saves Prince Loki from being pulled into a tear, but fails to save Queen Hela and is hunted by Sir Harold the Happy Hogan under the new King Thor's orders. Carter learns the incursion is occurring due to the presence of the Forerunner, another time-displaced individual, and locates Tony Stark, who can make a device to identify the Forerunner using the Time Stone in Thor's scepter. He points her towards outlaws Steve Rogers, Bucky Barnes, and Scott Lang to help steal it. Carter finds the group, but they are ambushed by Hogan. Carter gives herself up before freeing herself and a masked Bruce Banner. They meet with Stark and join Rogers' group in infiltrating Thor's court. With Wanda's help, the group retrieves the Time Stone for Stark's device, which identifies Rogers as the Forerunner, who had inadvertently created the temporal anomaly while battling Thanos. Carter bids farewell to Rogers and returns him to his universe, preventing the incursion before she is met by Strange Supreme. Strange Supreme takes Captain Carter to his Sanctum Infinitum, where he reveals that he has been capturing universe killers to atone for his sins, and asks for her help in capturing an escaped variant who fled to a universe where Hydra used the Tesseract to destroy the world. Carter agrees and encounters Cahorty, who reveals that Strange has been capturing variants to feed the Forge, a contraption he built to resurrect his lost universe. As Strange attempts to kill Cahorty, Carter frees his captives, allowing her and Cahorty to escape. Amidst the chaos, the pair encounter Black Panther Killmonger, who Cahorty separates from his armor, allowing Carter to use it. While the pair battle Strange at the Forge, the variants lend their weapons to Carter, while Cahorty sends them home. Strange is taken over by his demonic self, though Carter separates them. As the Forge collapses, Strange sacrifices himself and his counterpart to it. The Watcher returns Cahorty home and brings Carter to Strange's restored universe, revealing that Strange Supreme succeeded in resurrecting Christine Palmer, though he can never be reborn into this universe. Carter asks the Watcher to show her the multiverse before taking her home.